Jati, Tradition's Curse, a tale of forbidden love. Narrator. Once upon a time, in a faraway land by the Nile River, there lived a strong and proud people called the Dinka. The Dinka loved their traditions and followed the ways of their ancestors. They were known for their beautiful villages, their tall cattle with big horns, and their great respect for the wisdom of their elders. In a small village among the Dinka, there was a young girl named Ajak. Ajak had bright eyes that sparkled like stars, and she loved to dance and sing under the warm African sun. She was kind and always helped her mother carry water from the river. Ajak dreamed of becoming a great storyteller like her grandmother, who told tales by the fire each night. Ajak had a friend named Kele, a brave boy with a big heart. Kele was a shepherd who took care of his family's cattle. He would spend his days in the fields, playing his flute and singing songs to the cattle, who loved him dearly. Kele and Ajak were the best of friends. They would laugh and play together, sharing stories and dreams. They promised each other that they would always be friends, no matter what happened. But one day, everything changed. Ajak's father, Chief Dung, was a very important man in the village. He was wise and strong, and everyone respected him. One evening, he called a big meeting with all the elders and told them, "It is time for Ajak to marry." In the Dinka culture, marriages were arranged by families, and it was very important to marry within the same tribe or a family chosen by the elders. Chief Dung had chosen a man named Marol for Ajak. Marol was a strong warrior, known for his bravery in battles. He was much older than Ajak, and he was also very rich, with many cattle. The elders nodded in agreement, because they thought Marol would be a good husband who could take care of Ajak. But Ajak did not want to marry Marol. Her heart belonged to Kele. They had grown up together, sharing dreams and secrets, and she loved him deeply. Kele felt the same way about Ajak. He loved her more than anything in the world. When Ajak heard about her father's decision, she ran to find Kele. She found him by the river, playing his flute. Tears filled her eyes as she told him the news. "Kele, my father wants me to marry Marol. I don't want to marry him. I love you, Kele." Kele took Ajak's hands in his and said, "I love you too, Ajak. We will find a way to be together, I promise." But they both knew it would not be easy. In their village, the elders' decisions were like the laws of nature. They could not be changed. That night, Ajak and Kele met in secret under a big baobab tree, away from the village. They knew their love was forbidden, but their hearts were strong. They promised each other that they would never let go, no matter what. The next day, Ajak tried to talk to her father. "Father," she said, "I do not want to marry Marol. My heart belongs to Kele." Chief Dung was very angry. "Ajak, you are too young to know what is best for you. Marol is a good man and will take care of you. Kele is just a poor shepherd with nothing to offer." "But father," Ajak pleaded, "Kele has a kind heart and loves me truly. Isn't that enough?" Chief Dung shook his head. "No, Ajak. You must respect our traditions and marry Marol. This is what the elders have decided." Ajak's heart was heavy with sadness. She knew her father would not change his mind. She ran to her mother, hoping she might understand. But her mother also said, "We must honor our traditions, Ajak. You will learn to love Marol in time." Days passed, and Ajak felt like a bird trapped in a cage. She was always watched, and she could not see Kele. The villagers began to prepare for the big wedding. There were songs and dances, and everyone seemed happy, except for Ajak and Kele. One night, as the stars twinkled in the sky, Ajak decided she could not marry Marol. She went to the baobab tree and waited for Kele. When he arrived, she said, "Kele, I cannot stay here. If I marry Marol, I will be unhappy forever. Let's run away far from here where no one can find us." Kele looked into Ajak's eyes and nodded. Yes, Ajak. Let's run away and start a new life together. We will find a place where we can be happy and free. So, Ajak and Kele ran away that night, hand in hand, leaving behind their village, their families, and everything they knew. They traveled through the dark forest and crossed rivers, walking for many days and nights. They were tired and hungry, but they were together, and that made them strong. Back in the village, Chief Dung was very angry when he found out that Ajak had run away. He sent his warriors to search for them, but Ajak and Kele were far away, hiding in the dense forest. The villagers whispered about the young lovers who defied tradition, and some secretly admired their courage. Ajak and Kele found a small, peaceful village by a river where they decided to live. The people there were kind and welcomed them. Ajak and Kele built a small hut, and Kele played his flute by the river while Ajak danced under the sun just like they used to. They were happy, but they always missed their families and the village they had left behind. Months passed, and Ajak and Kele lived a simple but happy life. They were far from their old village, but their love grew stronger every day. They learned new ways and made new friends, but they never forgot their home or their people. One day, a traveler came to the village and recognized Ajak and Kele. He was from their old village and had heard about the young lovers who ran away. He went back and told Chief Dung that he had seen his daughter and Kele living happily in a new village. When Chief Dung heard this, his heart softened a little. He missed his daughter, and he was tired of being angry. He realized that maybe he had been too harsh, and that Ajak's happiness was more important than tradition. The elders gathered again, and this time they talked about forgiveness and understanding. A few days later, Chief Dung decided to visit the village where Ajak and Kele were living. He wanted to see his daughter and hear her side of the story. When he arrived, he saw Ajak and Kele by the river, laughing and playing with the children of the village. They looked so happy, and for the first time he saw the love in their eyes. Ajak saw her father and ran to him. "Father," she cried, "I have missed you so much." She hugged him, and tears filled her eyes. Chief Dung held his daughter close and said, "I have missed you too, Ajak. I am sorry for being so harsh. I see now that your happiness is what matters most. If Kele makes you happy, then I will accept him as part of our family." Kele walked up to Chief Dung and bowed his head. "Thank you, Chief Dung. I promise to always take care of Ajak and make her happy." Chief Dung nodded. "I believe you, Kele. Let's go back to our village and start anew. We will honor your love, even if it means breaking our old traditions." Ajak and Kele smiled with joy. They were happy to be going back home, where they could live their love freely. The villagers welcomed them with open arms, and a big celebration was held. There was dancing, singing, and laughter, and everyone was happy to see Ajak and Kele back. From that day on, the village learned that love is stronger than any tradition. They learned to respect each other's feelings and understand that sometimes it is okay to change the old ways for the sake of happiness and love. And so, Ajak and Kele lived happily ever after, surrounded by their family, friends, and the beautiful land of the Dinka, under the warm sun and the starry skies, where their love continued to shine bright like the stars above. The end.